Hey all, happy to be back for another live blog. Uh, yeah, not the greatest week for the Montreal Canadiens. They lost 5-1 to Dallas. They lost 5-1 to the Tuesday. They lost 7-0 to the Stars on Thursday. They lose Alex Newhook to injury for 4 months. Goodness gracious, with an ankle injury. And then it's announced that Caden Gooley, who'd already been out, is now out an additional 10 weeks, 8 to 10, because of an adductor strain. So, not great time for the Habs. Hey Mark, welcome back. Eric, why wasn't the Gooley injury diagnosed as a tear 4 weeks ago when it happened? Now he's at another 4 to 6 weeks. Did the doctors mess up? We don't know, and obviously, they don't like to tell us those kind of details. But he was practicing last week, or sorry, he was skating last week. He was skating last week, and then all of a sudden they go quiet and they have this announcement. So I don't know if they were waiting for some swelling to go down. They're waiting to see if it heals on its own, but they missed something, and now he's out 10 weeks, and it looks pretty bad. Hey Sugar, is there anywhere to watch the stream? I mean, there's the usual. It's on Sportsnet East, but it's on City TV tonight. So City TV is technically free if you're in Canada. I don't really know how it works elsewhere, but you can sign up for City TV and watch, I believe. Right? It's a cable. It's not a cable channel. City TV is like a network channel. So I think you can watch it. Don't quote me on that one. I think so. You're in California, then I'm afraid I don't know. Um, Let me check for you 1 second. I mean, I think you're just gonna need like a pay channel to. I'm not like aware of. Yeah, no, I only know where it's on in Canada, unfortunately. Sorry, I wish I could. I wish I could tell you. Yeah, is it on ESPN by any chance, or whatever? I guess Nesson would have it because it's on the Bruins channel, but I would imagine if you're in California, you're not paying for Nesson, right? Hey Rick, good to see you again. Roger says, might be a brutal battle tonight. Hope so. Well, the Canadians are going to have to come out real hard because they did not do that against Dallas and the Kings, and they got walloped pretty badly. So the Canadians are going to have to do something tonight. And the lineup tonight is obviously going to look a little different because the lineup is going to be different because, as you know, Newhook is out. So what's the lineup? Do we have the lines yet? We don't have the lines yet. Oh yeah, here's the lines tonight from the morning, based on the morning skate. So apologies, the chat is not super conducive to good cutting and pasting, but yeah, we got Caulfield, Suzuki, Sikorsky, the same old line, and then we have a second line. This is a new one, a little bit of Doc, Kapanen, Demidov. So Doc taking the Alex Newhook spot. Then we got Bolduc, Evans, Anderson, and then Davidson, Veleno, Gallagher. My goodness, that fourth line has the potential to be real messy. Gallagher has struggled. He hasn't scored yet this season. Veleno, I don't believe, has a point this year. He's really struggled. And Davidson is, playing his first game in the NHL. And then the defense is about the same. I'm really feeling for Hudson right now, who is -7 the last two games. And honestly, I think Jaden Struble starting to get pretty exposed here. So I know there's a lot of talk about like, oh, why didn't the Canadians acquire David Kampf, who the Toronto Maple Leafs were desperate to get rid of, and of course the Vancouver Canucks, who were always desperate to add bottom six players of zero consequence, of course wanted him. Um, so they got him. But so for all the talk about the Canadians now kind of being down a forward, I think they're the Goalie news is maybe bigger because I think they need somebody to play with Hudson. I don't know if they end up maybe picking up somebody for the bottom pairing and then moving up Carrier to play with Hudson. I think would be a good move. I'm sure they like Carrier with Jack-Eye right now. It's looking good, but they need Hudson at his best, and Hudson's not at his best playing with Struble. Apologies to Jaden Struble, but it is the truth. The good news, usually teams that have a horrible game come back strong in the next. Well, how would you explain Tuesday and Thursday then? Because they played not very well on Tuesday against Kings, and then they played even worse against Dallas. So, as much as I wish that were the case, the thing is, I do think they match up better with the Bruins. I think those big, heavy teams out west, Habs are not a good matchup against them. But I don't consider Boston to be I don't consider Boston to be as heavy a team as those are. So I think the Habs definitely have a good chance tonight. I think we'll bounce back tonight, Mark says. Well, here's hoping. Demidov's got 1 assist in 4 games. Caulfield, 2 goals, 1 assist in 5 games. Oh, I mean, the offense, I mean, they have 1 goal in the last 2 games. The offense went completely dry this week. So everybody's stats are going to be looking pretty bad. Who's in nets? That would be Montembeault. Montembeault starts tonight. Um, Big rivalry with the Bruins as opposed to the Western Conferences. Yeah, I think the Habs always, they always play up to the Bruins and vice versa. Yeah, and I think you don't see the Kings and Dallas Stars as much. You're not as prepared for them, and again, just you know, they don't. The Habs were, you know, not to bring this out again, but yeah, a little too young, a little too small, a little too soft for those two opponents, and it remains to be seen how they might be able to combat that in the future. I think a lot of that will happen internally, and just as guys get older, they should get heavier and better equipped for those kind of games. But so far, they're not, which is fine. It's how it goes. Jared Davidson going to play his first NHL game. He was a fifth-round pick as an overager after not. He was from the WHL, and he was not drafted twice in the WHL. So he's a three-time guy who got passed over in the draft. This is not the kind of player who makes the NHL at all. So this is an amazing achievement for Jared Davidson. And all he's done in Laval since arriving in the minor league team is show some good jam, score goals. He's got good size. I don't think he's not considered much of a burner, but he's not like a fast skater or anything, but seems like he's been able to hold up in Laval, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays. He's been able to be in a scoring role in Laval. I would imagine if he makes it in the NHL, it's going to be in a bottom six role, and he's going to be in a bottom six tonight. So we'll see. 1 point spread on 4 teams for first. Yeah, like the Canadians, we wake up this morning after this terrible week that was. And the Canadiens are still first in the Atlantic Division. They're tied for first with Ottawa and Boston, but they've played 2 less games in Boston and 1 less game than the Senators. The Senators are on a real tear right now. They're 6-1-3 in their last 10. Bruins are also 8-2 in their last 10. Canadiens are still 5-3-2 in their last 10. So they're not like, they have lost 4 of their last 5. They've been bad of late, but still early. 186 pounds. This is Jared Davidson you're talking about, I assume. Is he still at that weight? What does our good friends NHL.com have? Yeah, 5'11", 183. So 5'11", 183. So he's not a massive guy, but wouldn't say he's like a shrimp either. That's 5'11", 183 is like a little below average in this league. But in his second season in Laval last season, 24 goals in 69 games, 45 points. And he has 9 goals in 13 games so far this season. So he's so far shown a nose for the net in Laval. This is a statement game for both teams. Should be a great game to watch. Grit versus agility. I have not had a chance to watch Boston this year. Curious to see what they bring to the table because there was a lot of thought that Boston was a team on the decline. I mean, they've been on the decline since Bergeron, Krejci retired, and they didn't really fill them up. Zaka and Lindholm have been sort of okay placeholders. Lindholm's out, I believe. And then obviously Boston had a terrible year last year. They didn't make the playoffs, but they seem like you can never count them out. Boston always, they're never like in full rebuild mode. So they still have a lot of veterans. They still got Swayman in goal. They still got McAvoy. They still got David Pastrnak, who's, one of the top goal scorers in this league. So yeah, I'm always a little curious to see where Boston is at. They don't seem like the deepest team this year. And I think most of us have them, since they were on the outside last year, again on the outside playoff wise, but you cannot count them out. And right now the Atlantic is pretty deep. Everybody looks pretty decent. The Canadiens have been outscored 12-1 in the last 2 games. Boom emoji. Yeah, this is absolutely the worst 2 games of their season back to back. So all the more reason to not feel great. As Stu Cowan was saying that you can say that the goaltending is a problem, and certainly giving up 12 goals in 2 games is a problem, but also scoring 1 goal in 2 games, big problem. I'd rather be underestimated going into the playoffs than be in first. Yeah, I mean, historically, how many teams that have won the President's Trophy gone on to win the Cup? Doesn't happen that often. And we definitely get some teams sliding in there from, the Capitals. Were the Capitals not the President's Cup winner last year? And they beat us pretty handily, and then they did not make it much past that. Let's go Habs. Hope we fare better than Thursday. Yeah. Yeah, Mark. That was not the funnest Thursday we've ever had together. I'll tell you that much. If Monty comes out waving a white flag leading Montreal, no, Monty came in relief in a blowout game. I'm gonna forgive him for what happened on Thursday, but I thought on Tuesday, no, he did give up that really bad goal to Fiala. All right, I get it. Hughes out for the Devils. Yeah, he cut himself at the team dinner. Guys, whatever you want to say about Alex Newhook's injury, or even the strangeness about the Goalie injury, like seeming like he was coming back and then being out again, at least he didn't cut himself on a glass at the team dinner. That's pretty bad. Would not have thought that losing Newhook would be so disappointing. He was playing so well. He's playing his best hockey as a Hab. That's what makes this. That's what makes the whole thing about like Doc and Newhook so disappointing. Because it looks like they're finally, every time that they've kind of like started to show, like Doc, I feel like last year was playing some of his best hockey and then he got hurt. This year, Newhook's playing his best hockey and he gets hurt. We're so close with those guys, but the season is over. Or are you saying, is the season over? Because there's a question mark here. Can't count them out. They don't have any centers. They don't have any. They need a center. Without Newhook, Doc has either got to come up. Veleno's got to come up in the interim because I don't think there are going to be any trades are going to be happening until December. Not just with the Canadiens, with pretty much everybody. It's hard enough to Toronto to get rid of David Kampf, who nobody wanted. 100 minutes since scoring our last goal. It has been that long, eh? Bad news, Mark. Hey, if you've got the stats to back it up. Oh, this is these are who the Bruins got tonight. That is a bunch of names. We'll see if Boston, they do like to play hard. Bad news, Mark. It is your new name. Sorry. I like a shot at Gavin McKenna. So here's an interesting. First of all, they're first in their division. So to really have a shot at Gavin McKenna, you got to be in the bottom. I mean, you saw it with the Habs when they had their lottery years. You have to be in the bottom 3, 4, anything else, and it's total luck. So I don't think the Canadiens will this season ever get to the point where they might be that bad. They had a bad 2 games. They still have a good record. So I'm just not ready to wave the white towel enough that you finish last place. You really have to throw everything out. Matheson at +10. Look at him to score tonight. Really, he's +10 this season? He and Dobson, man, what a great pairing. Never would have thought about it. And now Matheson's in line for a huge extension. Pat Hickey wrote about a prospective Mike Matheson extension on Friday and suggested that because he's playing more minutes than Dobson and Hudson right now, in theory, wouldn't he be in line for a comparable contract? I hadn't even thought about that. I did not think I thought he was in line for, I think I compared him to that Petrie contract where he got 6.25, and I was like, well, with a little inflation, maybe closer to 7. But could Matheson be in line for a $9 million contract? That sounds crazy to me, but if it's what the market will bear. Davidson, Jack Struble could be busy. Yeah, is this going to be and then Sean says they will be. Is this going to be one of those games tonight? Do you guys think it's going to be lots of extracurriculars for the boys tonight? I heard Hudson is hurt as well. How about damn apples? Well, he is -7 in the last 2 games. I think it's because of Struble and just that not being a great pairing, but I could be wrong. I don't know anything about him being injured, though. It's possible. I mean, everyone keeps saying that Suzuki's hurt. We haven't heard anything official about Suzuki being hurt, but he's probably hurt. But hey, boy, injuries, man. Injuries popping up for the Habs, popping up for the Devils lost Hughes. It's that time of year. It's when they start piling up. Add Andy and Matheson. Yeah, if we got a deep bench of brawlers tonight, those guys end up on the list as well. I don't see Matheson doing the rest. No, they need him to play 26 minutes a night. Here we go. Hickey proposed 5 years and $9 million plus. The term is too long. Is that what's going to take? Because at a certain point, it's that's what it takes. That's what it doesn't take. I'm going to assume because Hudson got 8.5 that I don't think Matheson's going to get more. But I think what I originally thought about the Matheson contract, which is more in the 6 to 7 range, may be completely wrong. I might be wrong about that. So that's really fascinating. I don't know. I could be way off about these contracts. Thumbs up or free tonight. Yeah, use I don't know what you're entitled to with these emojis here, but feel free to use any and all emojis in the chat tonight. We'll see what happens. We'll see who gets the awards and all that. Ryan, he likes to fight in the benches. Oh, this is Anderson. Yeah, Anderson did some good work. So does Dobesh. Dobesh, the backup tonight. Maybe he'll say something. Maybe he'll say something. Be wary of Zadorov. Took out a few Leafs, including Matthews. Listed at 6'7". Oh, he's a beast. He's a beast, that guy. But what are we talking about? We talking about the Tom Wilson thing? Yeah, they were in the bench, no? Is that what that's what I assume you're talking about. Josh Anderson and Tom Wilson in the benches. And which apparently started with Dobesh mouthing off to the Washington bench. This is what I assume you're talking about. Maybe not. Good evening. Thanks for hosting. Hey, thanks for joining me. Last two games Monty played Boston, he won 4-1 and 2-1. Well, those are good results. Monty is terrible in the third period against Boston. 18 goals against in 9 games, 7 goals in 7 period and 8 in first period. And that's in how many games? 18 goals. Oh, in 9 games played. Yeah, that is pretty bad. But I don't know. Do you guys think do you guys think that the goaltending's been mishandled? Do you think that like by Marty, or do you, or the goalies just they are who they are? They're not elite goaltenders, and they're just inclined to not be always great. I'm curious to know what you guys think, because I saw somebody online, I can't remember who, suggesting that by not riding Dobesh when he was hot, they didn't get those hot games, and now he's cold. And then they kept Montembeault in, and he still hasn't gotten hot yet. So now you have a goalie that was hot who's now cold, and you have a goalie who's cold who's still cold. I don't know if I feel that way about that. We looked at Dobesh's, first 6 games last year, first 6 games this year. This may just be who he is, but with Montreal, Monty has 3 wins. 3 wins, 6 losses this season? No. With against Boston, you're saying. I have a good feeling tonight. Only concern is Monty's state of mind. It reminds me of Luongo. Roberto Luongo? Hey, I wish he was Luongo. Luongo's a Hall of Famer. I gave up on Marty's strategy. So yeah, you're not feeling his strategy. That's fair. 7 goals and 18 shots. Yeah, that's not great. It's gonna have to reverse all the bad mojo right now. It's on management. Should never pull a hot goalie. Yeah, should they have just played Dobesh's brains out for 2 weeks? I don't know. All right, we are good to go, and in typical Sportsnet fashion, I am like 4 seconds behind. And right off the draw, we have a fight. Who said, watch out for Zadorov? That didn't take long. Oh. Well, this is a classic Saturday night. Wow, this is a little pat on the back from Zadorov for to Struble, man. That was a big boy battle right there, and the benches are happy, the fans are happy. Timur, you're not happy. You don't like the staged fights, eh? I mean, Marty said he wasn't a big fan of the staged fights either. Is this revenge for anything? They haven't played this year. I don't remember if there's any revenge. Did Zadorov do anything last year? I don't remember. Marty's like Gretzky, only sees the game one way. You need a next step coach or help for Marty. Players love him though. I don't know if that means anything. You could love your coach and not the right coach. Yeah, you were the one who said be wary of Zadorov. Well, Zadorov needs to be wary of Jaden Struble, apparently. Yeah, Struble. Yeah, for real. Could you imagine if Montembeault had given up a goal on that first shot right after that fight? Anyways, so here's our weight class here. Struble is 6 foot 207. Zadorov is 6'7", 255. So Struble fought somebody 50 pounds and 7 inches taller than him. Good on him. Well, Pasternak draws a hooking penalty, but man, even worse, he missed a wide open net. What is going on with the Habs on that shift? Pasternak beats everybody to the net, gets his own rebounds. Oh man, Pasternak had a wide open net. That would have been bad. So Caulfield takes the penalty. They're saying Caulfield should have finished his check. That's asking a lot. Well, when Pasternak kind of blows by you, I don't know. You're just checking wind at that point. Marty's such a good coach, perfect for moving forward with the youngest team in this league. Well, you've got some people disagreeing with you tonight, Blue. I'm Switzerland on that. Don't ask me. You guys can. Ryan says, I doubt that'll be the game's only scrap. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, MSL is known for playing the rooks over the vets. Which vets, though? There are no vets. Gallagher? He's not playing Gallagher. Walk with the Islanders is the better coach. Look at Heineman. Heineman's playing real well. How many goals is he up to? 7 goals, I think. He's having a great season so far. Oh, we got some Jocelyn in the corner. Here we go. Another fight. Oof. Jack-Eye got dropped. Well, that's why Boston paid Jano some big money. He can provide a little offense and he can drop the gloves like that. He sure did. Arbor Jack-Eye doesn't lose too many of those, but he lost that one. But he looks all right. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about 2 fights? Doesn't happen often. 2 fights in the first period like that. What do you think's the deal? Do you think it's just Montreal? Oh, Davidson will almost get first shot on goal is a really good scoring chance off a give and go with Hudson. But yeah, what do you think about the fights? Do you think it's just Habs are mad? Boston's willing to drop the gloves with them? Something like that? Obviously, the Habs are entering this game mad. They want to make a statement after what's happened. Yeah, you don't want to turn it over to Pasternak like that. Nylander Larac needs to show Jack-Eye how to better protect himself. I feel like he's not usually too bad though. That was a pretty bad fight, but I feel like Jack-Eye's usually not too bad. Montreal trying to send a message to the bigger Boston team. Yeah, is this a message to Boston or is this a message to themselves after the last two? Delusional. Who's delusional? Am I delusional? No, who's delusional? I'm not delusional. I'm a little delusional. Not because of hockey, though. Yeah, it's 3 fights in a row that Jack-Eye has lost. Man, you guys are keeping track of Jack-Eye's fights better than I am. I don't mind hard-hitting hockey, but stage fights, not so much. Yeah. Oh, Habs draw a penalty. Very nice. Nice play off the draw. Yeah, Marty said the same thing about stage fights. This is going to be quite the night. Well, the Canadiens are about to jump on the power play. Head injury. Well, hopefully Jack-Eye's okay. Yeah, we're gonna see 2 Jack-Eye fights tonight. Is that what's on the card tonight? Is that what isn't it UFC tonight? Is that what's going on? Is there there's UFC tonight. Everybody's got UFC on the brain. Montreal has to keep Boston to the outside. Yeah, and I feel like they've already turned over the puck to Pasternak a couple of times, which is not what they want to be doing. A lot of tough guys in the league. Mr. Jackeye, just one of them. You win some, you lose some, except if you're Chara. Yeah, not easy to beat Chara. I think when they signed Zadorov, they're like, this guy's the poor man's Chara. Not as big, but still pretty big. Not as fearsome, but still pretty fearsome. I don't think the Jackeye fight was staged. It happened after he took out Geno. Ooh, Aspero just nailed Gallagher. Oh, this game's physical already. Pathetic. Power play is pathetic? There aren't a lot of tough guys anymore. It's not like the 70s. Yeah, there's not like that many tough guys, but every team's got at least somebody who can kind of go. Habs power play 8th in the league, doing well considering how young the team is. Weren't they 5th at the start of the week, though? I think they entered the week 5th. So if they're 8th now, then it's not a good week for that. Well, that power play was very short and nothing happened. And now Minton's allowed to get a walk into the slot and get a shot. Oh, some more. Are we going to get another fight here? Anderson's in the middle of it. Evans has a guy in a headlock. Strubal's still out there. Anderson's mad. Anderson's the next guy who's going to drop the gloves, it looks like. Yeah, why is Gallagher on the power play? Is it because of... Is he on the second power play because Newhook is injured? And they're just like... He wouldn't be the guy that I'd put in, but... I have no problem with Struble and Wi-Fi being ejected early. Then we can see how the Habs bend over and take it. Sounds negative. Damn. You guys are already like so down on the Habs. They're still first in the division. They're tied for first in the division. They beat Boston tonight. They're still first in the division. You guys are acting like it's hopeless. They can still turn it around. Damn. Did this week really like make everybody sad? Well, sounds like it. A busy night back in the day. Jay Miller fighting John Kordick and then Knuckles Nyland. Yeah, where's Knuckles when you need him? For a big guy, Dobson doesn't like it when things get nasty. Yeah, he is not. He's a big guy. He's 6'4". He's not a physical guy. On defense, he doesn't use his body. He's very much a stick and skating guy. Um, doesn't have that mean streak in him. So, he's big and can't be pushed around, but he also does not implicate himself. So I don't know how everybody feels about that. We're still one of the better power plays in the league, but 0 for our last 11. Yeah. This week has just been a real bummer. If history repeats, when Montreal's in a slump, Gallagher will come up with a big game to light a fire. Yeah, it hasn't shown it so far this season. He's looking, man, last year was such a good season for Gallagher. Looked like he was back. Looked like he was feeling healthy again. And then, we got more guys in the box now. We got Anderson in the box with Jack Eye still. And then Jeannot. And who else is that in the box? That would be Fraser Minton. Fraser Minton's in the box as well. I mean, at this point, the refs, I'm sure, are not going to want so much going down. Well, it would be time for Gallagher to do something. He's tireless, of course. Yeah. Not down on the Habs, Rick says. Just busting blue on Marty St. Louis. Oh, gotcha. You're busting each other. Yeah, that's a time-honored live blog special. Have at it, guys. I'm all good with that. It's hilarious, isn't Atlantic? Youngest team in the league, and fans are hating on them. Well, I guess they said they're not. They're hating on you, I guess. Oh no, it's 1-0. Boston scores on 5-on-4. Kustanidov, who, not gonna lie, I had him as a Habs target at the trade deadline last year, and he went to Boston. I mean, why are so many guys open? God, the Canadiens look completely out of sorts. Pasternak drags a couple guys off his way. Brutal. That was the Matheson Dobson pairing getting kind of stuck out there. There you go, Kustanidov. Yeah, I thought he was a good center possibility for the Habs last year at the deadline. I was looking up and down the list of guys who might be available, who might be young, who might fit the group. He's not a big guy, but he showed a lot of offensive talent. Oh, and the Habs crank one right off the post. Wow, what a defensive play. Pasternak almost had a breakaway there, and Matheson had to double back to stop him. But he did, and he didn't get a penalty either. Are we back to plan A from last year? Spot the opponents too, and then come back. That's the plan. I mean, so far, most of their victories have been coming from behind, right? Yeah, that was an amazing play by Matheson. Very good recovery. Totally. 13 straight goals against. Will we ever score again? Well, I certainly hope so. But yeah, the Habs were so offensively charged in the early going, and now it's not happening for them. Boston are going back on the power play. Great. Boston is going to be tough to beat tonight. Yeah, they so far look pretty good. And if the Canadiens seem to are already looking like they're having trouble with Pasternak, and if you have trouble with Pasternak, you're pretty boned. Caulfield has a whopping 6 shots in his last 97 plus shifts over 5 games and 100 minutes of the He is a goal scorer, he is streaky, and he is right now on a cold streak. That whole top line is on a cold streak, and this team does not have enough offense that they can survive without their top line scoring. So something's going to have to give there. They walk into our barn, win 2 fights, and score the first goal. Doesn't get any better for the visiting team. Did they win the first fight? I don't know. That one was Struber's a lot smaller than Zadorov and stayed standing. Oh, that one's a draw. Jack lost his fight though. I'll give you that much. And then obviously Boston did score the first goal. What is Montembeau's deal right now with not covering up the puck? Did it earlier on that play where Pasternak almost sent it through the crease. And then there again, like just cover it up, man. Jeez. Clean win is out. Really? I don't think so. Whatever. I didn't think so. Well, I'm not a boxing judge. Don't ask me to judge a fight. I thought Struble held his own at least. Shorthanded chance. And Evans holds it and scores. That's shorthanded goal. We are tied 1-1. The Paul Byron special there. Yeah, Pasternak came in, and then nobody came back to support him. So Evans and Matheson come back on the 2-on-1, but Evans just holds it. Swayman's waiting for the pass there. Great play. Finally broke through the cobwebs. Yeah, it's been a while since they scored a goal. Hey, there's a nice stop by Montembeau. Izemont had a right in the hash marks, had a clean line right at him. I mean, Canadians played that terribly off the boards. Handed it right to Izemont in the hash marks. Spins and fires. Very nice glove save. Leafs are trash. Getting rid of Marner was such a bad move. Are they losing tonight? What's the score there? Yeah, that was a nice save by Monto. Really, I mean, bailed out his team there, for sure. Habs of the league in shorties last year with 9. Yeah, the Habs have always been a good. Even when the penalty kill wasn't that good, they were still good at scoring on the penalty kill. But last year they genuinely had a great penalty kill. Definitely missed Armia a little bit. Seeing him, I'm not sad they didn't sign him to that contract, but a little sad to see Armia thriving on the Kings. Lots of hate tonight in the chat or on the ice. A little bit of both always. A little bit of both. Agree about Marner, but the Habs have the dumbest fan base. The Leafs have the dumbest fan base in hockey. Imagine running a 100-point guy out of town. And then T. Moore says Toronto's in a tailspin. Boo hoo. Uh, yeah, the Leafs, man. I know that it's Saturday night, and then like Hockey Night in Canada just like foists the Leafs on you guys, but I don't know. It's still kind of weirdly tight in Atlantic. I'm not ready to like cast them off yet, although I do think Marner has made them a worse team. Man, Zaka with a nice. Oh man, Zaka almost had the tap in there. He had 2 chances on that shift. Could have been bad, that one. Third goal of the season for Evans. Man, Stu Cowan showing a picture of Montembeau on the first Boston goal. Man, is he completely out of his net. Like completely out of his net on that pass. Not what you want to see. The Leafs didn't get rid of Marner. Marner got rid of the Leafs. Yeah, that is. I mean, they knew but he had no trade, right? Like they tried to move him at the deadline and they couldn't. They could have tried what. I mean, what Colorado did ended up being really smart, right? I know everybody was really sad when they lost when they traded Rantanen for Netchus, but they get to keep Netchus. They just signed him to a long-term deal. I guess Rantanen wasn't coming back or not coming back at the price that they wanted, but they still got something for him. I think that Treliving did well to get Nicolas Roy out of that, but like obviously a third liner is not going to replace Mitch Marner. So who would have thought that Pittsburgh would be challenging for first place? Nobody. Everybody was talking about the future of Sidney Crosby. Well, this future of Sidney Crosby is in Pittsburgh with a playoff bound team, it looks like. Fans can't run anyone out of town. They can if you're if you have an insecure general manager or an insecure player. Absolutely, a player can get you can run somebody out of town. Players do read their own press. You know, no offense to how anyone feels, but like Jonathan Drouin was not shedding tears when he became an unrestricted free agent and had a chance to move on. Let's just put it that way. I'm not saying he read all the Liveblog comments, but they get an overview. They know what people are saying about them. Some guys do read all their press. I don't know. Don't ask me who. I don't know who, but players they know what's being said about them, and they definitely when a player either becomes a free agent or has do we have another fight coming here? Kastelik and Anderson refs. The linesmen are immediately jumping in that one. They're like, it's not happening. Line is a mistake the front office can admit to. I don't know about that. They had $8.7 million of cap space that was not going to be used. It was end of August. They were a non-playoff team that literally had no one to spend that money on, and they got a second-round pick for their troubles. And Line helped them get into the playoffs last year. They got what they wanted out of that. He's not going to stick around. They're not going to sign him to another deal. So in the end, it just cost them some money. Like it cost them some money to get to the playoffs. Hey, the Canadiens ended up with a power play out of that. Speaking of front office, did the bald man make a mistake trading Heineman? I think he was collateral damage in that Dobson. It was bad to lose him, but a top pairing defenseman is always going to be worth more than a forward. So I think that was just more cost of doing business. But Heineman's good. I like Heineman a lot, but I think even I can't imagine where this team would be without Dobson this year. Where's Florian when we need him? I think they want they want him to get a little more reps in Laval. Because the thing about Florian Jackeye, hey, we're going to have a 5-on-3. 5-on-3 coming up. Well, now they got to score, right? Caulfield gets dumped entering the zone. There's a big opportunity here. Holy moly, can we ever win the initial draw in the PP? Say what you want about Christian Dvorak. That man won faceoffs. The Habs miss him. I hate to say it. He was awful for most of that contract. But the last 3 months of his contract, when he was healthy and finally playing well, he was a big difference maker. There you go. Suzuki won that draw. You stand corrected. Oh, what a passing play. Puck sailed past the crease, though. There's another one. Caulfield the bumper right now. Oh, Dobson with they had great passing sequence for the Habs on the two-man advantage, but Dobson slap shot gets blocked, and of course it happens to go out of the zone. Yeah, even when Dvorak wasn't very good, he was still a good face-off, get-off kind of guy. If you needed somebody to win a big face-off. Ah, that was a bad pass, Demidov. Tried to do a little too much on that one. All right, well, the 5-on-3 is over, and now there's 20 seconds on a 5-on-4, and they're doing a line change. Doc to Bolduc, which is going to have to work if they want a second power play unit. I mean, Bolduc is great at the bumper. That pass, I think, was a little too predictable. What a play by Slavkovsky to Bolduc at the end of that power play. Slavkovsky deked by two guys, and now he and McAvoy are getting into it. And then Bolduc centered it to Gallagher for a chance. Ah, it's going to be rough that they didn't score on that 5-on-3. Yeah, it was the LA game, right? That they didn't score on the 5-on-3, and then it sort of came back to bite them. Yeah, I feel like in games like this, Slav needs to get like going for him to have that physical edge, but he doesn't back down from the physical. Like he doesn't get up for it. He's not the aggressor, but if like the game is aggressive, he can like match toe to toe, you know what I mean? But he needs to be kind of like jostled into it. Anyways, first period's over. Well, then we got a question. What's the time on ice for Struble and Wi-Fi? Well, they both spent time in the box, so I'm going to assume not that much. Jack Eye's got 246 and Struble's got 220. But you have to keep in mind they fought, and then the Canadians went on the power play and also killed a penalty. So there's a lot of special teams after that. I mean, Matheson played almost half the game so far. Monty's doing all right so far. Hope he gets his mojo back. Hope for Gavin McKenna. I don't know, man. Have you seen Calgary? Calgary might be the one that get him. Monty looked good, Bad positioning on the goal, but otherwise he looks pretty solid. Yeah, the goal he was definitely off, but he recovered and made a nice save afterwards. Monty wasn't scary in nets. No, is he ever though? I don't know if that's his game. But yeah, how do you feel about that? Would you call that a throwback period? Monty made the right move. Pasternak usually shoots that. No chance for Monty. Well, that is the advantage that an elite goal scorer like Pasternak has. You do have to sort of cheat to. You got to respect his shot always. So in terms of hits, it was 15-10 Boston. Penalty minutes were 18-16. Face-offs, uh, Boston won 11 of the 19 face-offs, and it's 10-7 shots on goal. 5-5 in blocked shots, 3-2 giveaways for Boston, and then 4-2 takeaways. What does Natural Stat Trick have for us? At the end of the first period, they got 9 scoring chances for Boston, good for 3 high danger chances. Canadians had 3 scoring chances only and 1 high danger chance. So definitely more chances for Boston in the first period, which was unfortunate because Canadians did have a 5-on-3. Did not take advantage. Still needing size. Yeah, that's the one thing. I'm glad they called up Jared Davidson. I think Jared Davidson not only deserves a chance, but he's like a good guy to call up now because the person they need is kind of like not necessarily a top six, not necessarily a bottom six. So this was like a good time to call up Davidson, but he doesn't bring the size that the Canadians could use on like a bottom line. Jack Eye will come. Jack Eye will come. Sorry about that. I had to. My poor dog, his blanket fell off the couch, and he was very sad. So I had to help him. So from Stu Cowan, the Habs power play is now 0 for 13 in the last 5 games. That's pretty bad. And no shots on goal on the 5-on-3. So those are 2 bad numbers from Stu. I don't know what's a bottom 6 going to do when we need a 2C. The problem is that there's nobody available right now. Like there's no trades happening. Like David Kampf literally didn't make the Maple Leafs and was sitting at home waiting for a trade, and it just happened. And David Kampf is their Joe Veleno, like barely even a fourth line center. There's just no 2C right now. So you do have to try to improve the team any way you can. But there's no one available right now. So you kind of have to make do. And keep in mind that, up until the Dallas game had Newhook. So you have Newhook, Doc, Kapanen. I'm not saying any of these guys are a 2C. They're not a 2C, but they're placeholders. But now you don't even have that. Like Doc is now unquestionably the second line center right now. Not sure how that's going to go. He's playing pretty well, but he's not even Even at his best, I think we can all admit that he's not a second line center anymore. But there's just no one. There's just no. There are no trades happening. It's too early. Teams are still trying to like suss out where they are. Um, so unfortunately, I think the second line will have to wait. Man, you're Sean. I know you want Gavin McKenna, but man, you got to look at the standings. Like Canadians are really gonna have to drop to get there. But he looks like, I mean, Gavin's not playing that well in Penn State, but that's neither here nor there. He's definitely going to be a guy for sure. He's definitely going to be a superstar. How do you guys feel about watching Celebrini though? Celebrini and Bedard light it up, and then you look at those are the years that the Canadians were tanking, like actually tanking, and they got the Slavkovsky year, and then just after that, there's a chance to get Celebrini, they don't get him. There's a chance to get Bedard, they don't get him. But look at how good those guys are. I hope you guys aren't feeling a type of way about that. You need to see over 15 games how a player is. Yeah, but which player are we talking about? Davidson? I mean, Davidson is anything they get from Davidson is golden. We don't have a contender. There's no point in trying to win a cup if you can't win the cup. It's asinine, right? I'm prepared to lose for Gavin McKenna. But teams have tried this. They've tried just like losing and losing and losing, and it's actually pretty hard to dig out of that too. It's not a surefire. Like you don't get Gavin McKenna and then turn around right away. I mean, some teams do and some teams don't, but you do need to like. It's more. It goes beyond one player, but he is a very special player that could really help a team get out of it. But like the Canadians had their 3 bad years where they got their 3 lottery players. I don't know if they can be bad that much longer. Like at a certain point, you gotta improve. You don't want to be the Sabres, right? Where you're just kind of like stuck for years and years. But I think if the team was like, keep in mind they made the playoffs last year too. Like if they were bad, I would agree with. If they were just like straight up bad, I'd be like sure. But it's not. I don't think the dichotomy of like you're either contending for a cup or you should be last place is really like how it works because those are 2 teams out of 32. Like one team's going to get Gavin McKenna. It would be just as foolish to put all your stock into getting Gavin McKenna as it would be putting in all your stock to win the cup. You know? Like both are as difficult to get in a way. The Canadians have had 2 first overall picks. In what third in 40. It was Wickenheiser and then this one. It happens as rare as winning a cup does. So as much as it would be great to get Gavin McKenna. It's actually pretty hard to plan around it, and then you don't want to like. God, imagine if they were horrible all season, tanked for Gavin McKenna, and then lost the lottery, which would be the most likely scenario if you tank. And then you got nothing to show for it because the second guy is not Gavin McKenna. The second guy in this draft is good, but not Gavin McKenna. Might not even be Slavkovsky good. But I hear you. But I hear you that like, you know, who do you think will get him? I think Calgary. I think Calgary, St. Louis, Nashville. These are the teams that seem pretty. They seem like they're in rough shape. Like right now in the standings, in last place, we have Calgary by country mile. Oh, Buffalo. Buffalo are terrible. Buffalo, Nashville, St. Louis. Um, oh, the Canucks. The Canucks they're in trouble. Those would be the ones this year, I think. Yeah, but you're right. Looking at like San Jose, Anaheim, they definitely like turned a corner. But yeah, this might be Man, when was the last time Buffalo drafted first overall? Was it Gilbert Perreault? Did he go first? Has it been that long? That poor franchise. Those fans. I don't think their ownership deserves a player like McKenna, but the fans deserve one. I would argue Calgary does too. And Nashville has never. They've always been too good to draft really low. Like they got Legwand as an expansion team, second overall, but they've never had a first overall pick. So Nashville, I think, could be cool. And then honestly, Washington's always a possibility. Like Dubois gone for 4 months, I think. I think last year they were kind of able to turn back the clock a little bit, but they are a pretty old team. Ovechkin's again off to a slow start. The goaltending ended up being so good for Washington, but I don't know how long that'll last for Washington. So Washington's a possibility too. Buffalo's a unique town. McKenna would be wasted there. Yeah, but it's not. I don't believe in the conspiracy of the cold envelope when they do the lottery, the draft lottery. Like I don't think they actually. I think for the most part they do. It is a random process, and if you're asking me who I think is going to finish last place, which would then be most likely in the Gavin McKenna sweepstakes, I would say Calgary, St. Louis, Buffalo, Nashville. Those to me seem like the four worst teams this year. I've never been a big fan. Oh, yes, you're right. Sorry, they drafted the two defensemen. Silly me. I forgot that. I've never been a big fan of drafting defensemen first overall. Sabres did it twice. I think it's a mistake. I think Buffalo's drafting has been really awful. I think they've drafted a lot of small forwards and none of them really fit. Um, I think they're constantly. I don't know what they're doing. They're just not drafting. They're drafting too many of the same guys. I totally agree with you. Not only do you should not draft a defenseman that high up unless it's like a can't miss guy, which I would say Dahlin was, but Power wasn't. And now they desperately need a center, and you could have had Beniers, who I'm not saying is like necessarily better than Powers, but he's better fit than Powers. Your team's better if you traded Power for Beniers tomorrow, your team would be better because it'd be more balanced. I think they will trade Power, to be honest. Washington will look to replace Ovi with a big name. Yeah, I mean, I thought that if Kaprizov was going to get to free agency, the guy that they'd probably be interested in is Panarin because I think Panarin will go to free agency. So, I mean, Panarin's old too, but hey, maybe Ovechkin stays if Panarin's there. I wouldn't discount Ovi coming back. And then they traded for another. Yeah, Byram. They're kind of dumb. They are the dumbest franchise for sure. McKenna would be wasted there. Look, they got Jack Eichel. They got Jack Eichel and they blew it. They got Eichel and they got Reinhart and they blew it. And those guys won cups in other teams. But they could still get McKenna. I could still see it happening. I don't think the NHL is gonna step in and magnetize the balls, the lottery balls, or what, whatever you do to cheat the lottery. Does anyone here watch Laval? Can we get a David Reinbacher report? Yeah, can we get a David Reinbacher? Who watches? I can only tell you his stat line, which is 2 assists and -3 in 5 games, which is not amazing. But I can't tell you what he's actually doing on the ground. Buffalo's the NHL farm team. There's always gonna be one. That's the truth about they can talk about parity all they want, and it's Gary Bettman's dream for perfect parity every year. But the NHL in sports, there's always gonna be a team on the bottom rung. Canadians were that team for a couple of years. Buffalo's back to being that team. Who's popping in Laval? Now that I'm looking at Laval, Laurent Dauphin having another big year in Laval. Don't think he'll get a call up. Ditto Alex Belzil. Joshua Roy's doing okay. Engstrom's doing good. Engstrom, honestly, Engstrom, I could see them getting a call up if they feel like Struble, like Engstrom with Hudson would be a pretty talented pairing. That I could see happening pretty soon. If they feel like they're not getting enough from the back end, that's a move I could see happening. Um, yeah, Sean Farrell still getting points, point a game player, not this year, but quite some time. Guys, if you miss the Expos, the cover of the print edition of the Gazette today is about the Expos. The Gazette's very own Brendan Kelly interviewed not only David Sampson, but Stephen Bronfman and former part of the ownership group, Brad Routerman, to get the real insight of the Netflix documentary and like what happened and what's truth, what's not truth. So we got a little deeper than what was on the Netflix movie. So and beautiful illustrations as well for that article. So if you can pick up a print edition of the Gazette, I would heartily recommend you do so. Although I know that that's not easy and it might be too late already. No, you can find it on Sunday. Dreaded second period. Watch out for Geeky. Geeky's one of the league leaders in goals, and he had a little give and go play there in that shift. There is nowhere the Expos can play in Montreal. The big O's are farce. No, the Expos are long gone and not coming back. And even if Stephen Bronfman said, "I'm building a stadium somewhere," Major League Baseball would still say thanks, but no thanks. Major League Baseball has absolutely zero interest in coming back to Montreal. They don't even want to use the Gazette. Or sorry, they don't even want to use the Expos and Montreal as like a threat anymore. They literally have two teams that don't play anywhere. The A's and the Rays, and it doesn't even matter. They don't even want to use the Expos as a threat. That's how bad it is. It's hard to get a Gazette around here. Union Station did have them back in the day. Oh, in Toronto. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think it's that's unfortunately a thing that's not used to be able to like have those old like newspaper of the world kind of convenience stores, and those don't exist anymore. Gazette and the Star. Oh, what a stop! Montembeau on Geeky. Geeky had a breakaway, and I think he tried to beat Montembeau 5-hole there, but great save. Yeah, he tried to beat him 5-hole, but it was just a little high. Oh, but then on the next shift, Mason Lohrei. That's not. What happened here? So the puck's behind the net. There's just some guys in front of the net, but a couple of drive-by Boston guys, but I don't think there's any deflection on that. Montembeau's just not well positioned on that. That's a brutal goal from 40 feet. Yeah, it was far out. Monty should have had that. Yeah. Oh, boy. No excuse. Guys, what is it going to take to get Monty to not give up the odds softy? I mean, he's giving up a lot of softies right now, but even when he plays well, it's just baked into his game, right? Guess who leads the NHL in scoring since last January? Morgan Geekie. Really? You for real? I know he's like on a tear right now, but man, I heard bad things about the goalie coach. He will take the blame. That is always a card that they can play. If the if the goalies are struggling by Christmas, they could definitely make a change in that department. Ooh, bounce off the glass, and Montembeau was behind the net and had the whole front of the net exposed there. That was dangerous. In goals. Okay, that makes sense. Because, yeah, Kiki scored, what, like 36 last year? And they were all they were all in, like, the second half. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Morgan Geekie, by the way, who was cut by Seattle, they just let him go. And Boston picked him up. But anybody could have had him. We're the Montreal Miners when Monty plays, constantly digging ourselves out. That's funny. I like that. Hold his family ransom every game to stop Monty from letting softies in. I was asking for solutions. There you go. That's the solution. That's good. So it's 2 goals on 13 shots, by the way. Oh, and there's another one where Monty makes the save, but it's like kind of in and out of his glove. I mean, at this point, Boston are definitely trying to get shots through traffic. They certainly don't have much confidence in Monty right now. Oh, nice chance by the half. The D's problem going forward. Goalie and Reinback are very injury prone. Thought we were locked down, but it's concerning. Yeah, it is very concerning if Reinbacker and Goalie can't take permanent spots on this defense because they used a lot of draft capital to get those two guys, and they looked good for. Obviously, Reinbacher hasn't played in the NHL yet, but he looked good coming in to Laval when he got that call up. When he came over from Europe, he looked like, oh, he's like almost ready. And now it's been like over a year, and he doesn't look anywhere near ready. And obviously, Goalie can't stay in the lineup. So, will Fowler get a chance this? If Fowler gets a chance this year, things have gone very badly. I think Fowler gets a chance if the Habs are not making the playoffs, and perhaps more importantly, if Laval's not making the playoffs. Because if Laval is playoff bound, they would much rather just have Fowler down there, getting his reps, getting a playoff race in Laval. That's why they signed Kaapo Kakkonen, so Kakkonen could come in if Dobesh and Montembeault can't get it done. So I think Kakkonen's the first guy you're going to see. They're starting to sag. Yeah, they did not look good this period. Carrier with a nice shot, but unlike the Bruins who keep getting guys in front of Montembeault, Swayman saw that from a mile away. We're constantly outshot, and it's been that way since Marty St. Louis came over. I have a feeling Reinbacher will be on injury reserve. Oh, I hope not. 7 shots and we had a 5-on-3. Yeah, there were no shots on the 5-on-3, by the way. I hate to tell you. Took me a sec. I was like, what is this? Took me a second. Yeah. Kaapo Kakkonen. Yeah, it is a funny name. McKenna. Hey, they keep losing. Anything's possible. Dobish allowed goals caused by bad defense. Yes, most of the Dobish goals were in tight, I will say. Whereas the Montembeault can give up some goals from far out. So Eric Hughes never did finish that. No, I'm good. Yeah, did he stay at the table all his hand bandaged up? He was like, no, I'm gonna I ordered the steak. I'm gonna eat this steak. I'm gonna assume they took him out. Last 7 periods, Canadians have a goal. 1 goal. When was the last game Caulfield scored? The Utah game? Did he score in the Utah game? Or the Jersey game? Would have been around that time. He didn't score this week. Here, let me check it out. He scored he scored twice against Utah. Oh, we got another skirmish in front. Anderson and Zadorov. Jack guy's getting playing time. Marty must be drunk tonight, or he's looking for another fight, maybe. By the way, I was just watching the replay of McAvoy's hit on Slavkovsky in the final minute of the first. Gallagher driving the nets. What a great chance that was. And then Hudson with a one-timer that doesn't get through and leads to the puck getting out of the zone. Jack in front on the power play. I get it, but also I feel like Slavkovsky, I mean, up until the last couple of games, had been doing a good job of it. And I think Doc has that potential too, but hey, if the power play stays struggling, I could see it happening. Or something happening. Maybe not that, but something happening. Struble, the offensive juggernaut here. But Canes draw penalty with that offensive zone. Great play by Gallagher. Oh, and then Davidson. Davidson's had 2 chances tonight. I'll give him credit. And then look at Doc holding the line, and he draws a penalty. Kirby Doc, I know he's like offensive skills are sort of perhaps a little limited, but man, he's using his body pretty well. That was a great play. Great play to hold the line and draw the penalty. Another 5-on-3. And this is a 150 5-on-3. Slavkovsky's battling for the puck, gets his stick slashed into 2 pieces. It's got to happen. The Habs have to. This is a must. This is a must, eh? Yeah, Steve right. Must score. This 5-on-3 will work. Dobson out on the power play. But Suzuki gets called out of the faceoff, and now Caulfield has to do it. And he wins. How about it? Lots of passing. Somebody want to shoot the puck by any chance? Suzuki tried to catch them off guard there, but no chance develops from that. And the shot, and it's Dobson fanning on it, but they get the puck back at least. Dobson tries to get it to tip in front. Nothing happens. 42 seconds left in this. Come on. Somebody take a shot. Like a real shot. Not Hudson missing the net. A real shot. Come on, the guy's open right there. So many passes. Demidov. Okay, come on, Demidov. There you go. That was at least a chance. Dobson does not look comfortable in that power play. Yeah, it's sort of strange to put him out on the... I don't know why they put him out there, not put Slavkovsky. The thing they could use right now was literally a guy in front of the net. Montreal are killing off Boston's penalties. Perimeter, miss the net, please. Yeah, that is what that was. This is sad to see. They waste time. Good Lord. WTF. All right, you guys are feeling what I'm feeling. That was enraging to watch. I can't believe the Canadiens are going to. Their last three 5-on-3s this week. And they're going to end up with nothing to show for them. Yeah, let's get Sheldon Souray back. Hudson. Take a shot, man. Not that shot, though. Bolduc with sort of the off-kilter one-timer, but at least he tried. And now... Really? Another power play for the Canadiens? At this point, it's just torture. At this point, they're just torturing us. I mean, that's a very clear interference penalty. Ah, man. Using Hudson as your shooter. I know it's because they're giving him space because they know he can't shoot. I guess that's why they have Dobson out there. I don't know. I don't know why Dobson's. I don't know why he was out there. Oh, yeah. Either way, we've got another Canadiens power play coming up. Who knows if they have anything to show for it. The Habs are power play is now 0 for 15 in its last 5 games. Goodness. Everybody's yelling to shoot. Oh boy, McAvoy. And McAvoy is down. Oh boy. This looks serious. McAvoy's holding his face. Did he take one right on the jaw? There's 57 seconds left on this power play, and McAvoy's run into the dressing room. Oh my. Not only did the shot hit him, the puck kind of rattled around his face and his helmet. Marco Sturm, you can see it on his face. He is concerned. Oh boy. Anybody ever take a puck to the face like that? I've taken those orange ball hockey balls? Taken that one to the face once. That did not feel good, but it's not puck bad. It's not puck bad. Doc tossed out of the faceoff. He's not happy about it. 57 seconds left. I mean, the Habs still have power play time here. And Boston just lost their best defenseman. And Boston clears it. I mean, a nice zone entry by Doc there. But now they got to get set up. They're going to have one more chance here. And they're back to even strength, but ooh, Gallagher had the puck right in front. Two nice shots by Kirby Dach. You don't see him shoot a whole lot, but and then Pasternak with a breakaway, but he doesn't get a shot off, and Habs were very lucky to not get a penalty there. It's now 17-14 shots Habs, but I mean, they have spent an awful lot of time on the power play. A power play, by the way, which is now 0 for 16 in their last 5 games. And look, there's Josh Anderson getting chippy in front of the net, and Evans getting chippy at the bench. We might not be done with fights yet. Anderson looks like he's ready to pop somebody, but I think he knows they're down a goal and they need to score first. But if things go sideways in the third period, I could definitely see Anderson. Anderson's definitely going to go after somebody. Yeah, from Stu Cowan. Power plays 0 for 6 tonight. 0 for 16 in the last 5 games. What is the cause of the power play failing? I don't know. They were so good. When Demidov joined the power play, they were so good for a few games. And like they were, I think, 5th in the league at one point. And then it's just fallen apart the last. But like, is it the power play or is it just the whole game has fallen apart? Like it feels like they haven't been good at anything the last like 3-4 games, other than that Utah game. So I don't know. I mean, the obvious thing when you look at the power play is that I think Slav's not really in front of the net right now. Like I feel like the power play was really rolling when he was in front of the net. He was a big, even if he wasn't getting points, he was like this big vector for like everything that was happening. They were able to get shots through. He was able to create rebounds by being in front, and I feel like I haven't seen that, but it's also because they're not shooting as much. Um, maybe Bolduc gets back in there. Maybe they're going to give Bolduc a chance. Yeah, exactly. The PP's gone from lethal to anemic. Like it wasn't that long ago that the power play was the best part of this team. And now in the last 5 games, it's just completely fallen apart. Need to keep Andy pumped. He's way more effective that way. I will say that Andy, when you kind of know right away if he's gonna have a good game or not. Like he's definitely eating his cornflakes today. He looks like he's I think he's gonna keep going tonight. I don't think he's gonna like fall off. But there are nights where like you see that he's not, his legs just aren't moving. But tonight he looks good. I have to change the channel when they have a power play. I get too frustrated watching them pass the puck endlessly. It's absolutely stupid. Yeah, so that was a very frustrating power play. Apologies if I yelled and swore. So yeah, the 316 of this game, the Canadiens were 5-on-3. They have 6 shots and no goals. The power play takes no shots. They just pass the puck and kill the penalty for Boston. Yeah, they definitely just take way too much time to set up, and then like they pass up good opportunities for other opportunities that don't really come. Reminds me of Homer Simpson watching soccer. Yeah, center to winger to center to winger. Holds it, holds it. Kirby Doc is down, but he gets back up. What happened to him there? Oh, don't be grimacing on the bench, Doc. Our hearts can't take it right now. Be fine. Whatever's going on with you, be fine. Habs are playing another sloppy game. Come on, boys, get it together. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Like their goaltenders are struggling right now, but the Canadians aren't doing them any favors. Like Montebo's had to bail them out already a couple times this game. So yeah, Montebo gives up a soft one, but stops, makes a big save on a breakaway, and then makes a big glove save after a broken down play in the corner. So, you know, I can guarantee you one thing: the game is not going to end 2-1. So let's have faith. Lots of game left. Only just past the halfway mark, really. All Montreal has to do on the power play is position the puck in the slot and gang attack it in confusion. Yeah, I just feel like Slafkovsky was figuring out how to play in front, and that was a big key to the power play being good. Also, we could argue that we've talked a lot about if Suzuki is hurt. I have to say that Suzuki hasn't looked that implicated on the power play of late. And could that be a sign of injury? Davidson was not on the 5-on-3, but he has had 2 scoring chances today. He's been right place, right time a couple of times this game. What did Slavkovsky do to get a hooking penalty? He's mad at Zadorov. I mean, he's fighting Zadorov for the puck, but with the way the calls have gone tonight, you knew there was going to be one on the Habs coming up. And Slavkovsky did not make it hard on the refs on that play. Anytime that you've got like one hand on the stick and you're kind of like using your glove, like you're holding the guy. Like the hook and a hold, and they're gonna call it. Yeah, he knows they're gonna call that 100% of the time. Here's how Stu Cowan saw it. Slavkovsky almost took referee Francois Saint Laurent's head off with a dump-in shot and was given a dirty look. Seconds later, he takes a penalty for hooking. Well, yeah, you don't want to hit the referee with a dump-in, that's for sure. I really want Slav to succeed, but he sure isn't worth $8 million. But will he be worth $8 million over the duration of the contract as salaries rise and he presumably gets better? That's the thing about those contracts, right? They're sort of baked into the future. Have you compared Tage Thompson to Slavs at the same age? Did you guys hear that they're still trying to make those Tage Thompson trade rumors happening? I mean, Boston's so bad. I guess anything's possible. They would be so stupid to trade him. But could they? I mean, let's be real. If they were trading Tage Thompson, trading him within the division would be like the stupidest thing ever. But again, we were talking about how stupid Buffalo is. They can't be that stupid. I refuse to believe that. So far, Slav has to be the weakest or number one over the last 20 years. Excuse me, you're forgetting Nail Yakupov. Yakupov wasn't even an NHLer. He was much worse. No. You got to go through your first round. He's better than Lafreniere. Have you looked at Lafreniere lately? Slavkovsky's a better player than Lafreniere. No. I know what you're saying. Is Slav like the kind of guy you want from a first overall? No. But it gets worse. First of all, that goal gets worse. What a terrible goal. And they got a guy in the bumper. Arvidsson. Victor Arvidsson, a guy left for dead in this league. Of course, Boston figures out how to make him good. Oh, what a pass from Zacha. Really took advantage of Carrier there. Arvidsson left in the middle of the slot there. Power play goal for Boston. It's 3-1. Usual suspects. Zacha Pasternak assisting on the Arvidsson. Man, Arvidsson. I feel like LA couldn't wait to get rid of that guy. TVA, the guys know hockey, saying how terrible it was by Slav to take that penalty. Absolutely terrible time to take the penalty, for sure. For sure. Doesn't feel like a comeback is going to happen. It sounds like a funeral at the Bell Center right now. Doesn't seem like a happy place to be right now. What did Boston do? They pass and they shoot. They don't pass fan and then sit and then pass, pass, pass. Yes, they acted quick. You know, it's funny because that goal was almost identical to one that Slavkovsky, I think, to Suzuki scored on the power play like a week ago. Like the Habs were literally doing this a week ago, and they've like stopped doing it. Two Bruins on Galley. Where are his teammates? It's a good point. So we got roughing penalties for each. Gallagher's going to go off. Who are assistant? Who coaches the power play? I've been told that Marty St. Louis coaches the power play. That's what I've been told. Change challenge. Yeah, the power play. I mean, then they might score on the power play and you'll get superstitious and change every time. Boston looks like last year's non-playoff was a one-off. Yeah, they look good tonight, I will say. You have bets. Don't get. Hey, I read a piece in the Athletic today about some of the abuse players get from all the people sports gambling. And I'm not saying that you're doing that, Rick, but definitely I want to warn you all. If you ever feel the compelled to reach out to a player because of a gambling loss, please don't. Doesn't sound like life's great for some of them. Hell of a pass. Struble to Suzuki, and we got ourselves a one-goal game. What a really nice pass by Struble, by the way, on that one. And then Caulfield, all alone, goes right up the middle, beats Swayman with a backhand. So that's Caulfield's 13th goal of the season. Oh, very nice play by Hudson to that would have been an odd man rush. This broken stick right at the blue line. Lots of chaos. Anyways, second period. I mean that. I mean, I thought Struble did the main work there. Struble's stretch pass was the great piece there. But no, I mean Caulfield, he's the finisher, man. That's the job. Dobson not having the best game tonight. I will say that the last few games, Dobson got off to a really hot start and he struggled a little bit the last few games. And you can really see that. I feel like the team, you really see the ebbs and flows of this team depending on how, like, Dobson's already become this very essential component to this team, and he has to play well for them to win. Cue the comeback. Well, there's only a 1 goal game now. Just think how angry you get watching the Canadiens lose games regularly. How angry did they get back in the 70s? Pretty angry. They didn't lose very often, but they got angry when those games happened. Slav should not get another shift this period. Do you include the third period in that? Because now we're at the third period. NHL website has been down all evening, but it's LA 1 against Ottawa, Toronto 2 in Chicago, Edmonton 2-2 Carolina. Oh, so Toronto's doing, everybody was talking so ill of Toronto earlier, but they're doing okay. Did Slav have a shift after that stupid penalty? I don't think so. Do you want me to check? Let me check quickly. No. No, he definitely did not. Nothing for Slav after that. I think it's time to question goaltending again in this city. I hope I'm wrong, but Monty gives up way too many soft ones. That Mason Lowry, the second goal was a softie. Arvidsson, there was nothing he could do about that one. And then the first goal, no, that was. I mean, he was out of his net, but it was also Pasternak just being great. We didn't need to get angry in the late 70s. We never lost. That is true. That is true. The 70s were great in Montreal. The Habs were winning, Owls were winning, the Expos were entertaining, the Olympics. 50 years ago now. Is the game on ESPN? Is that where you're watching the game? Somebody was asking earlier where the game was in the US. It's on ESPN tonight? Habs fans are always angry, but they're also the most passionate when winning. Habs fans are just passionate. They're just passionate, which is why Habs fans are the best fans because they care. Wouldn't you rather be in a market that cares than a market that doesn't care? I'd rather be in a market that cares. Again, just as long as you're not calling the players complain if you're a gambling loss. Just don't do that. I would put Dobesh in the third because Monty plays poorly in third periods. I will say that teams do not preemptively pull goalies. Like if it's not like baseball where they're like, oh, you're a two times through the order pitcher. Now we're gonna put the bullpen guy in. They don't do that in hockey. In hockey, if you get the start, you get the start unless you're really playing like crap or you get hurt. Habs people is playing too wide of a perimeter, and Boston isn't buying it. Absolutely, and this is the where we talk about Slavkovsky again. Slavkovsky needs to take this energy that he's got, the energy that he turned into a penalty of frustration, and he needs to park himself in front of the net. I thought he did a great job of that literally a week ago. Literally a week ago, he was doing this. They got to get back to that. I went to go see the game against the Kings. Monty just doesn't look great. Makes big saves, but those low opportunity shots seems to go in a lot more often than you would like. That is very true. I was talking to somebody the other day who was saying that his glove side, especially, is looking pretty weak right now. Like the timing is just off with his gloves. So I don't know if you guys are feeling the same way. Off topic, any fighter plane fans? I love the grip offer from Sub. I know nothing of fighter planes, but if anybody does, uh, feel free to engage with Rick. The late 60s were great too. Didn't the Leafs win in the late 60s? The last time they won. You guys watching the Grey Cup tomorrow? How's you guys have plans to watch the Grey Cup? You excited about the Grey Cup? Do we have any Grey Cup predictions in the house? I think the Owls win a close one. I think it's going to be like 2017. I'll say 2017. So they win by a field goal late. Maybe not like at the buzzer, but like late. Owls all the way. You love to hear it. Took the Owls to win. Are you gambling? You can gamble. Of course, you can gamble in the CFL, but I was like, how many people gamble in the CFL? Is that a big thing that people gamble by a lot? I know it's too late now, but why not play the hot hand in nets? Dobish had a great start to the season, but now he looks shaky. Either way, as long as the Owls win tomorrow, I'll calm down for a month. So we talked a little bit about the Dobish thing earlier because I was asking people if you felt that Marty mishandled the goaltending situation by not playing Dobesh exclusively when he was hot. Like, should he have just played Dobesh for 2 straight weeks until he got tired and then put Montembeault in? Because the way that it seems right now, Dobish was hot But then he played Montembeault 3 games out of 4, and Dobish got cold, and now he's not playing well. And then he played Montembeault 3 and 4 nights, or 3 and 4 games, in 3 or 4 games, hoping that he would get hot, and he didn't get hot. So now you have a goalie who's was hot and who's now cold, and now you have a goalie who's cold who didn't get hot. So you basically have two cold goalies. I don't know if that's how you feel. Smoked meat poutine coleslaw dinner with friends. Go, Alex, go. That sounds good. Can I come over? I want that. Oh, we do have some fighter plane fans. All right. Good for you guys. As a scout, I worked at Expo 67 for a few weeks. I assume you mean Expos, not the Expos. I worked the Ethiopia Pavilion. They fed us cold, strong coffee. Never had coffee since. Really, God, that I love coffee. I actually spilled coffee on a $300 tracksuit yesterday, and I literally have spent my entire night last night and my entire day trying to clean it. I did, by the way, I did clean it. But I love coffee. God, I would love some Ethiopian coffee right about now. They paid Monty to be the starter, but I feel like MSL should play Dovis when he was hot. Give the kid a chance. It's not Price and Nets no more. Unless we get a true number one, no job is secure. I will say Monty's making less than $4 million, right? He's not getting. He's not even getting starter money. He's getting paid better than Dobesh, but he's not getting starter money. Man, you guys talking lots about F-35s, NASA, F-35s, subs, pitter patter, the Avro Arrow. Hey, I hope you guys are enjoying that conversation because I don't have any bloody clue what you guys are talking about. I know you're talking about planes, but did I call Monica Lewinsky for advice on stain removal? Well, I did think about taking it to a dry cleaner, which is what I think Monica did, right? I mean, 4 million is still a lot for a questionable goalie. Not even 4 million is actually a bargain for a questionable goalie. Isn't that terrible? That's what the league is at now. I feel like the Canucks have like collected 5 million goalies who make 5 million bucks. 5 million bucks is like the bare minimum now. No, Monty is pretty affordable for what he gives you. The only thing is you're spending. I mean, this team is spending less than $5 million on two goalies, so you're kind of getting what you pay for sometimes. And the Canadians take a penalty 30 seconds in, and they might not want to leave this delayed too long. There you go. Next goal wins. Is that how you guys feel? Like if Boston scores on this power play, is the game? Are you guys done? Is the game over if Boston scores here? Nice play by Montebo coming around on that. Was it Zaku made the pass or was it Zaku got the one timer? Right off the draw, which is always tricky for Montebo. He's not great off the draw. Yeah, it was Arvidsson again. He can rip it. Very nice save by Montebo, but he moved across real fast. Yeah, how many penalties is Doc going to take? Another culprit the last like two games where I feel like prior to the last two games this week, or the three now counting Boston, Doc was starting to play really well, and now the last couple games he hasn't been that good. But you can kind of say that about almost everybody on the team, unfortunately. Anderson showing his legs again. Is he going to get a chance here on the penalty kill? No, but he's going to waste a lot of time. I'm happy to see Anderson starting to get any points. Not that I think that he's playing a radically different game, but I like what he brings to the table. And I think he needs to contribute a little bit on offense at least to because they don't get a lot of scoring from their bottom, especially with Veleno around. So nice to have Anderson contributing a little bit, and Evans as well. Now they just need to get Gallagher going. Here we go, 2-on-1. And Lord, oh man, Evans with a great chance. Another great opportunity for the fourth line, or I guess they're the third line right now. Oh, and that was a nice play by Jack-Eye to take an extra second and then shoot through the screen. I'd love to see Jack-Eye shoot a little more, but he doesn't get that many opportunities in the offensive zone. But he's got a good shot. He's got a good shot, and he tends to not do the low impact play. I will say about Dobson. Dobson, elite passer, but so far his shot, I would say his shooting leaves a little to be desired. Anyways, Canadiens killed the penalty. I mean, the crowd is cheering right now. The crowd is animated again. They were dead after the 3-1 goal. Oh, Hudson with the shot, and Boston takes a penalty. Boston clears the puck over the glass. I mean, this is the moment here. They're actually playing pretty well to start the third period. They killed the penalty pretty effectively. By the way, Davidson hanging out in front of the net again. If Davidson can hang out in front of the net, this is big for them. They definitely could use that. We look good on 5-on-5. Should we decline the penalty? Take the yards. Immediate clear from Boston. Dobson on the power play again. I don't know why they're doing this. Because there's nobody in front of the net right now. I mean, Hudson's the one who's off. Oh, Slavkovsky played the bounce off the end boards. How did Swayman get that? That was such a good chance by Slavkovsky, but man, Swayman got there. Nobody in front of the net on the PP. I know Slavkovsky's back door right now, and he actually almost scored back door, so I'll give him some credit. But I would love to see when the puck is at the point. Look at that one. Play the bounce off the end boards, man. But somebody's got to get in front of him. And he needs to be used more, not using him well. Josh Anderson? But you don't want to see him on the power play, though. Really need a man in front. Yeah, let's get somebody out there. Oh, yeah, now Hudson, Suzuki. It's definitely doing some tinkering around here on the power play units. Suzuki from his office, but he didn't get to take his usual, like, 3-4 paces there. Yeah, exactly. Zadorov in the box, McAvoy injured. Like, the best penalty killers on the Bruins are out. Swayman so far is a difference maker. Swayman, I mean, he wasn't good last. I mean, the reason why they didn't make the playoffs last year is because he wasn't very good, but he was elite the year before that, and he got that big extension, and he's elite again this year. Suzuki fed Doc perfectly on that power play, and he missed the net by country mile there. Oh man. And then Gallagher tries to jam one home, and that was frankly a pretty good opportunity. Anyways, Habs over yet again. Yeah, I was like, why is Gallagher at the point? I know he was. I know wasn't assigned to be at the point, and they just rotated that way. But it was just funny seeing him at the point on the power play. Yeah, Swayman's hot. Swayman's hot right now. He's playing really well. I mean, Boston will make the. I mean, if Swayman plays the way Swayman can play, they'll make the playoffs. It's just like another team that the Habs will have to. Oh man, Pasternak undressed. I want to say Struble, and then flipped one up on Montembeau. Montembeau completely lost it, but no damage. Struble high sticked Geeky. Yeah, you like seeing Davidson in there. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Yeah, not a Struble is definitely, I think, starting to crumble under the weight of being like on the second pairing night after night. You know what I mean? Like I think he's a pretty decent defenseman, but the problem is when somebody's out of place and they're playing too long out of place, they get exposed. Are we so sure we don't want to try Jack Eye with Hudson? I know that's risky. I know that's risky because if Jack Eye has a bad night, everybody's going to be all over him. But I feel like Jack Eye's a little more dynamic than Struble. I would try it. I mean, if the Habs lose tonight and they're losers of 5 of their last 6, like, what are you waiting for? Struble ain't it. Like, Struble's not it with Hudson long term. And now you know Goulie's out 10 weeks. So your alternative is you put Carrier with Hudson and you punt the third pairing and you just like have like whoever on the third pairing. Or you can try Jack Eye for a little bit on the second pairing. I would try Jack Eye in the second pairing. I think Jack Eye's not playing that badly. What's he doing tonight? He's played 7:26 tonight. Strubal's played 10 minutes. I think it was the second year of COVID, started to play and shoot from the point. He did very well. Galley's a very good disruptor. Yeah. Love to Galley. Just got to get him going on offense. I know Line is a liability 5-5, but right now I feel like the power play is missing an elite right-handed shot in the second PP. Yeah, 100%. Say what you want about Line. I mean, clearly he wasn't healthy going into the season, but that guy can score power play goals, failing anything else, and he is missed right now. I mean, if the team's not scoring, he's missed because that was the one thing he could do. Pasternak's so good. Oof. Arvidsson's definitely the finisher tonight on the power play for Boston. They keep finding him. Another nice save by Montembeault. Pretty casual blocker save coming across. Make a trade for another defenseman. I mean, again, there's no trades happening right now. Like, I think you got to do some internal moves, and then things are going to open up in December. But they've still got like a freaking hard schedule coming up, and I think in that realm, you've got what you've got, and then you've got your, if you want to make a call to Laval, you can pick up Enstrom. Oh, we got more fisticuffs in front. Oh, Evans and Matheson getting into it after they got a little too close to Montembeault's kitchen. Is that Geeky in front? Yeah, it was Geeky in front. And Arvidsson. Again, Arvidsson. Man, good night for Arvidsson. I feel like Struble is a good defenseman, but not on a pairing with Hudson where he's going to play ridiculous minutes. 100%. He's not a top 4 defenseman. And he's been thrust into that role. But it's not the right role for him. D or goalie change or trade doesn't solve scoring. No, but they have to fill the guy. Like, they've got 2 big injuries right now. Well, 3. Line and then Goalie and Newhook, and they have to fill these spots. More penalties. Oh, but the Habs lose Evans, and there's still a minute 30 left on this power play for Boston. You do not want to miss. You don't want to miss Evans. That's not great. Carrier Hudson is too small. It's not ideal. But Carrier can at least play with Hudson. Like, at least Carrier's been. Oh, Montembeault had to come out to make that save on Pastrnak. Oh, this is not looking great for the Habs right now. But yeah, Carrier's at least been a top 4 defenseman in Nashville and was for last year for the Habs. So that's my logic there. I don't think it's the ideal pairing, but I think it's a better mix than what they've got right now. Oh, Zaka hit the post. What an amazing tic-tac-toe passing by Boston. But you guys are right. 3 passes, and then the guy's open. Ooh, big clear. Hyman being dealt for Dobson might be one of those pieces that might suck in time. Bolduc is a nice replacement, but I also feel they should let him play with a playmaker, not on the third line. Yeah, Bolduc, I think, deserves a chance to play on a scoring line. We'll see what happens with Newhook out if he gets more of a chance. And I still say that Heineman is a collateral damage and a player they'll miss. But, like, look at the defense. Look at where would this defense be without Dobson. Dobson completely changes the defense on this team. They need a right-handed defenseman more than anything in this world. Even more than the number 2 center. More than the number 2 center, they needed a number 1 right-handed defenseman. So it was the cost of doing business. I don't think it'll be a bad trade. Is it bad that I'm missing Prime Savard? I wish they had a guy like that on the bottom pairing that they could put on the PK. Not Savard because he couldn't skate anymore, but somebody who could like block shots and be a big dude. I thought maybe Vincent Desharnais would have been a good off-season guy, but it seems like San Jose was pretty content to keep him. But San Jose is going to start dumping defensemen possibly. Well, no, actually, they're actually playing pretty well. Maybe they won't. I mean, the Habs killed the penalty. It wasn't pretty, but and Boston did hit the post, but still 3-2 Boston with 9:07 left, and we're now back to even strength. It's 23-23 shots. So they're even in shots. You could have given less for Dobson. I mean, maybe, but it seemed like that's what the price was. A lot of it will depend, too, on the 2 first-rounders that the Islanders got, right? Like, if they nail those first-rounders, we might be feeling a type of way later. Sort of like the Doc trade where Frank Nazar is looking pretty good for Chicago. Shot block numbers are down from last season. Are they? I haven't checked relative to last season. Tonight, the Habs have blocked 20 shots. So, tonight, they're doing okay. Talking about defensemen, I think Evan Bouchard on the Oilers is a very overrated defenseman. I don't think he's an overrated player, but I think to call him a defenseman would be a bit misleading. He's an offensive player who happens to play defense. But hey, man, they need that offense. Is it time to call up Meshar? No. No, he only has 4 points in the AHL. He's like finally healthy again. Last season was such a wash for him. He was so hurt. If he's healthy, and he was hurt to start this season, so no, he needs a full season in Laval. Davidson looks promising. Yeah, hey man, there's been multiple replays now where I've seen Davidson in front of the net looking to cash in a loose puck. So I like players like that. That was a slow night for Savard. Yeah, that man had guts. There you go. Look at Doc, man, fighting in front of the net. Now Doc and Anderson are in there battling with Bull Duke. I like this line. Is Demidov getting a... Is he glued to the bench right now? I'm just thinking who's a right-handed shot winger we could call up to find a spark for the offense. Or does that not exist? Yeah. No, that's true. Who could that be? I think at that point you would just I think you would just try Gallagher. I mean, Gallagher scored 20 goals last year, so I think if you needed a right-handed shot on offense, you'd probably just give Gallagher another shot and see if on a better line. I mean, he's moving his feet tonight. He's not doing too bad tonight. He's a bit more implicated, so Yeah, how you guys feeling Davidson tonight? Here, let me tell you what he's doing. Box score says Davidson's played 7 minutes and he has 4 shots and 1 hit. No blocks. But is he leading the forwards in shots? No, Gallagher's got 5. Only Gallagher has more shots than Davidson tonight. So Gallagher has 5, Davidson has 4. That's crazy. Good for him. I'm happy for him. It will never be time to call up Mizar. Yeah, he's got to get back on track. I would say is what I would call it. I don't know if he ever will get back on track, but he's got to get back on track. But the team had some nice things to say about him in the offseason, so I don't think I mean they're never gonna call out a guy like that, but yeah, I like it. You guys are yeah, Davidson's look good. Give the kid a chance. Has a little grime to his game. Yeah, he was in that little skirmish earlier where Evans got called for the penalty. All right, we're on Davidson. I mean, how would you compare to like Veleno? I feel like he's already done more than Veleno has so far. Galley does well against Boston. Yeah, why wouldn't he get excited playing, Montreal's historic rival? All right, we got 5:20 left. Still 3-2 Boston. Habs are up in shots now, 24-22. Ooh, Mason Lohrei walked in with a shot, and then the puck hit the end boards and came back to Boston in the slot, and Habs were totally like not aware of where the puck was, but no damage done. Oh, what a nice pass entering the zone by Slavkovsky to Caulfield. Oh, and the Bruins had a chance to end it right there off the stick of Kusnudinov, and he hit the post. Yeah, you know what? That Tanner Janot contract, everybody ripped it on day one of free agency. Janot had lost his game, he couldn't score anymore. He was just like slow and bad, and they basically just paid millions of dollars. It was a 5-year deal, 6-year deal for a grinder. Everybody badmouthed the deal. He's looking like he's back to his old self. Boston just has a knack for finding these guys who kind of lose their way elsewhere. Arvidsson, another example. Arvidsson's looked great tonight on the power play, looked deadly. And the Canadian and the Bruins are just like, yeah, once again, just like a quick reset and they're back at it. 5 minutes left and Suzuki's already 21 minutes for the game. So what do you think? Do you think this means that he's hurt and they're just abusing him to the ground because they got nobody else? Or is he okay? He's looked better tonight. I didn't think he looked good in the 2 other games this week, but he's looking better tonight. Valeno's a disappointment for a West Island kid. I hope that I, as a West Island kid, am not disappointing you tonight, Mario. Um, but yes, I don't disagree with you. Veleno has been very disappointing so far. Don't think he's long for the team. Replay of that semi breakaway showed Monty went down way too early. Monty better kiss that post. Yeah, he was beat real bad. A guy like Trent Frederick would have helped us. I will say that Edmonton made him a very good offer, and obviously he's got a chance to win a cup in Edmonton. It would have been hard to get him. Uh, I don't discount that the Canadiens tried to get somebody like that, though. But I do think they will need. And Hughes even said it that there's going to come a certain point where they're going to absolutely overpay for some free agent to help complete the roster. And I definitely think next year, if there's a Jeannot Frederick type, the Canadiens might sign him to a crazy deal because, like, I mean, to be fair, Anderson is that guy right now, right? Anderson was the big heavy guy who got the crazy 8-year deal that everybody was like, what the heck? And I don't know how you feel about that. I feel like that Anderson deal worked out okay for the Canadiens. I don't mind whatever. Deal like that, like he plays every night and he gives you a good effort. So if you get that, and like with the cap going up and with the Canadiens not really like contending for a large portion of that deal, whereas money wasn't like a huge issue, I guess that Anderson deal was good. But that Anderson deal is totally the Frederick and Jeannot deal. Has MSL used a timeout this season? Well, use that one in overtime, remember? Where Caulfield scored in overtime after that? He used the overtime and they just like laughed on the bench. Looks like size trumps skill lately. I do agree with Max, though. You need both. But you can't discount size. Veleno doesn't hit. Veleno doesn't block shots. Veleno doesn't shoot score. Yeah. That's really Veleno's thing. He doesn't have a card. What do they call it? Like a carrying tool. He doesn't have a thing that you're like, oh, this is why he's here. Ah, Demidov with the kind of low impact shot there. Yeah, Slap's decision making sometimes can still. Sometimes he shoots these passes where I'm just like, why are you doing that pass? It just seems like a weirdly risky pass. Although that was a great play by Slafkovsky to keep the puck in the zone, and oh! And we have an empty net with 144. Man, Suzuki almost scored in front off that redirect, off the drive-by tip there. But it's 144 left in the game. Habs down a goal. They have pulled the goalie. There's a face-off coming in the Boston zone. Andy was lusted or listed, both. As a power forward, he never filled that label. However, the past 2 seasons, he's played better. Anderson would be fine if he showed up every night. He doesn't. Yeah, these are definitely the two things. Oh, hey, the Canadiens called a timeout. Mario, you got your timeout. You did it. Was it you, Mario, who's talking about the timeouts? It was. So there you go. He calls a timeout with 144 to go. Um, yeah, Anderson. I feel like Anderson shows up. The last couple of seasons, he shows up, but his offense is like dried up. Like that's just not his game anymore. But he shows up every night on the penalty kill. He's always hitting a couple guys. He's definitely simplified his game a bunch. As a West Island kid, I give up my body and block every shot I could for this team. The fact that Veleno has the chance and doesn't is pain. Yeah, is he making guys? Is Joe Veleno making West Islanders look bad? Let me know. All right, here we go. Suzuki Crowley at the face-off, and Suzuki lost it. All right, Slavkovsky's in front of the net this time. So let's get a puck in there. Man, Suzuki the bumper on that one. That was a nice, quick passing play. But instead the puck clears. Why is Dobson out? I don't think Dobson and Hudson play well together. Am I crazy? Put Matheson or Dobson out, or put Hudson and a forward out. Oh, it's icing. I don't think Dobson and Hudson are working well together. I don't know. If you guys disagree with me, let me know. But that's what I think. 46 seconds left. Boston iced it. Habs still have the empty net. So they got 6 attackers out. I mean, we were talking earlier, right, about Hudson maybe being hurt. That's not crazy. He's playing the worst hockey that he has so far as a Hab. Oh, iced it again. Zadorov trying to go for the empty net. Demidov took a pretty low. I mean, that's like a low danger chance at the opposite end of the hash marks there, but he took a good shot. Took a good rip. 30 seconds to go. Two chances. Oh, and it's cleared. There's 10 seconds to go. Can the Habs get one more chance? Suzuki with the zone entry. There's 5 seconds to go. They got to put on net. It's in the mesh. They say there's 1.9 seconds left, but I think there's more. Slav has played good tonight, outside of the bad penalty, of course. I wasn't big on the Dobson trade, and I'm still not. I think Patty knew what the problem was. No next year. Yeah, but he's already become such an essential part of this team moving the puck up the ice. But he might not be much of a finisher, I will say that. Slav has played a poor game tonight. Wait, when do you say Slav's played a good game? When do you say a poor game? There you go. Game over. Bruins win the final face-off. I mean, that was a great game. Were you guys at least not entertained? I was entertained. But the Habs really needed a win, and they didn't get it. But at least they didn't give up 6 goals tonight. That miff shot by Montembeault cost us. Yeah, that Lowray goal is the difference maker. Man, you can see how mad the Habs are on the bench. Misery loves company. Yeah, this loss is on the power play, not Monty. Totally agree. Monty played well tonight, minus the 1 goal, and the power play was 0 for 7 and awful. They needed a win, and they didn't get it. That's one of those games where you wish you capitalized on a power play. 1 power play goal, we're going overtime. Not just a win, a solid win. Like against Utah last week. Thank you, Bob. I'm glad you were entertained. All right, last call for... I like this comment. Better game tonight, yet it was still a loss. Regardless of youth, regardless of surgeries, what is hurting is scoring. 3 5-on-3s in the last couple of games and 0 goals. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, the power play right now. Montreal had a pop gun power play. Habs are now 2nd place in the Atlantic. Last year, way back, and people were counting the playoffs out, thinking bottom 5 spot. There's lots of seasons to go. There is lots of seasons to go. And the power play was really good a week ago. So it's not done yet, but something's got to be done. There's got to be some adjustments. They got to try something else. And I think Dobson should not be on the power play right now. I'm not seeing it from Dobson. He's great 5-on-5. I think he's good at clearing the puck. I think he's good at moving the puck up the ice. But I think you guys are right. I think his finish on the power play. I don't really see it. Thanks, Max. Have a beer on me. I do got a beer waiting in the fridge, I think. I gotta as soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna write up about last night for you guys, and then yeah, we'll crack open that beer. It's Saturday. And hey, everybody enjoy the Grey Cup tomorrow. I'm gonna be watching that too. Hey, good sports weekend. Marty doesn't like adjustments. Well, he's gonna have to do it this time, Max. Because it's not working right now. But I don't know. The adjustments could be like just positioning, just making sure Slaps in front of the net or something. But something's got to give on the power play because they are 0 for their last 16 now. They haven't scored in five games on the power play. Montreal's penalty kill has outscored its power play. That is 100%. That's hilarious. The beginning of the season was a mirage. Looks like no hope of return for comments at the Kazoo. Oh man, I wish I had better news for you right now. The comments are coming back. Like they're coming back, but goodness gracious. The website, if you guys only knew the back end of our website, lots and lots of issues right now, unfortunately. So, and comments is like kind of on the list of things to fix, but there's other things to fix. But if anybody knows how to fix a website, no, we got people. We got people on it, and even they can't do it. But we're working. We're working on it. We're working on it. All right, y'all. Thank you so much, and enjoy.